So since it's Halloween, I have to find a new costume. The first year I combined a axe with a Captain America mask. And the second year I blatantly combined a pair of sunglasses with a Hurley hat. And this year, an old friend returns. Oh, and my weapon? A back scratcher. Now, I know you're probably waiting for me to say it, so I will. Who wants to see Jesus? You're welcome, Internet. Happy Halloween! Or, at the time of this recording, it wouldn't be Halloween yet. That's the 31st. So, hey guys, Brady here, and I'm back, again, for another thrilling adventure in the world of YouTube. That being that YouTube is not a world, it's a platform. So you may notice, I have a new setup. I'm trying a new setup, because I can. And, yeah. And with this new setup, I have a new genre of, new series that I want to try. Series. So, as you know, I am a movie guy. I review movies. The Angry Birds movie, Space Jam 1 and 2 to be precise, Venom 2018, the Peanuts movie, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I have to redo that review. The Lego movies. And I can't really remember another one, actually. Well, yeah, I got no ideas. But look at the playlist. You'll find it. You'll find it. Trust me. So, in honor of me reviewing movies, I want to try a new genre. I'm calling it the Moviegoing Chronicles. As you guys may not know this, you guys probably don't know this, but I also watch a lot of movies in the months. When I'm in bed and I'm before I go to sleep, I watch a film. Or I watch part of a film, and then tomorrow night I would continue it again, and then again and again. It'd be kind of like a part series. And since it is Halloween, I figured I should try this genre right now. This series. Sorry for me stuttering, it's what I do. I'm the stuttering king. No one will dethrone me, and if you do, you'll get this whack to the face. Okay, so, yeah, the Moviegoing Chronicles, Volume 1 of 5,000, or Infinity, I wouldn't know. And today, I have some movies to talk about, and almost all of them are bad. You never know, though. I could have some thoughts. And they're all horror movies. Well, the first one isn't really a horror movie. It's a horror character, necessarily. I don't know. The rest are horror films, though. I will say that. So, let's do it. So, last year, I watched a ton of non-horror related films. I had Zombieland. I watched Zombieland last year. That was a horror film, but well, action that turned into horror. Action, horror. Yeah, horror action, whatever. But I also had the acquaintance of watching Resident Evil, the 2000s movie, and The Meg, and A Haunted House 2. Those aren't horror movies. Well, okay, I tried my best because I like to theme certain months. And this month is horror. And this year, I had a much better Halloween month. I actually got into some scary movies. Beforehand, I wasn't really big into scary movies because, honestly, I would have nightmares every night. I'm telling you, man, if you showed me Nightmare on Elm Street before I was this age, 18, I would crap my pants. But that film is silly, so, yeah. So the first film that I watched this month is one that everybody knows. Morbius. Everybody should know Morbius at this point. It's infamous. Infamous for being one of the worst comic book movies ever. And yes, Venom is considered one of the worst comic book movies ever, but hey, I have something to say about that. Venom and Morbius are made by the exact same companies, Sony and Microsoft. Yup. And Venom is the better movie. Sorry to disappoint anybody, but I really didn't like Morbius. I thought it was really boring. Admittedly, it's not the worst ever. I see why people like it. I can see why people get into it. It's totally fine if you like Morbius. But the plot is that Jared Leto does a film. And that's really it. He's getting hunted down by these police people who want to kill him or enslave him for presumably killing somebody on a boat. I could be wrong. Listen, I'm not going to remember everything from every film that I've watched. I'm only going to give you small tidbits, meaning that this is probably not going to be a very long video. Probably going to be 2 parts. But still, Morbius is bad. I don't like it. And I have gotten, since I've reviewed so many movies, I've kind of considered myself a critic, when in actuality, I just like to critique movies, review movies, nostalgia critic style. Yeah, I like to do that stuff. I'm not as crazy and wild as the nostalgia critic, but still, I give my opinion and let it be known to the internet, and my opinion is not valid to any of you. And hey, if you guys like Morbius, what do you like about it? I'm totally down for your opinion. And you'd probably say, I kind of like the action, and the CG's pretty good. No, the CG's pretty terrible. But, I want to know your opinion. If you guys like Morbius, that's good. Good to know that the film does have a following, even if it's considered one of the worst. But that's Morbius for you. So, the next film is a film that I wanted to watch the last year, but I didn't get it until Christmas. Yep, I watched the Banana Splits movie. So, now for my thoughts. I have referenced this film a few times. Just a few. And now, I've watched it. Tra-la-la-la-la-la, hooray. So, my thoughts on the Banana Splits movie? It's okay. It's not amazing. It's good. Just good. That's it. It's a very, I can't really say anything else, but it's just good. That's all it is. And the plot of this story is that there's this kid named Harley who gets tickets to go see the Banana Splits at a live taping for his birthday, and everything goes to crap from there. We also meet a pair of TikTok tubers, which I thought was pretty cringe. But hey, so is TikTok. And, well, it's kind of pivotal because this film was released in 2019. And Instagram live streams were big. Yeah. And of course we also, have this father who's like, has this daughter, and he's like, okay, you gotta show them you're wrong. He wants her daughter to be an actress, and, she ends up doing like, it's like this. What's she gonna do with all that junk? And I'm just like, that's funny. The film has giggles every once in a while. It's a silly horror movie. It's not, and the kills are spectacular. Like, well, not spectacular in the sense that they're good. They're good kills, but spectacular in the sense that they're creative kills. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'll give away, I won't spoil the, like, gigantic kill that is, you'll have to watch the movie for yourself, in which case, it's on YouTube TV, it's practically also on Amazon Video. You can get it on Blu-ray, if you can find it, maybe. I don't know, it could be cheap. One of the kills is somebody getting a lollipops shoved down their throat by Drooper, the lion guy. And it's like, and yes, they do talk, but not at the beginning when they first show up. As the movie progresses, they start doing one-liners like, ta-da! And time's almost up! Or something like that. And, of course, they kill the people. And practically only a few survive at the end. I'm not gonna give away the entire movie. It's not a spoiler-heavy movie. It's not like we're digging deep into the Banana Splits lore or anything, or the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe or anything like that. I'm just saying, it's not a spoiler-heavy movie. So that's the Banana Splits. The next movie that I watched was It. IT. The 2017 version, to be precise. Now, this film was huge when it came out, and I totally respect that. I totally respect that it was huge. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of memes around it too. And of course, we all know the classic Tim Curry version. Waha, waha. But this version is attempting to be an actual horror movie. And I'm going to say this right now. The first few minutes of this movie are pure garbage. The parents are easily the worst part of this whole movie. They just unleash on their children. Like, God. And also, might I add that one of the children is played by Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. You know, you ever seen that Game Grumps episode? An Irishman walks out of a bar? True Game Grumps fans will get that. Totally. Anyways, the movie's good. But only around, like, the end. The ending is great. It very much sets up, because I know this is in 2 chapters. I know it's in 2 chapters, and I'm gonna watch chapter 2, just maybe down the road when I get to another horror fest or something like that, or Halloween month. And the first movie, it's good. The ending's great. It sets things. The bullies are the worst part as well. Obviously, it's a very 80s kind of movie, and literally when it's like, hey kid, what you listening to? It's the fat kid. He's just like, huh, New Kids on the Block. Get some Dead or Alive. You spin me around like a record in your life. I'm just kidding. So I thought the scares were interesting. The scenes were a little like when the sink bursts out with blood was kind of blah, but also, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, at least all the kids like survive at the end of the movie, like the Banana Splits did. And also, might I add that the Banana Splits end credits has it's the Tra La La song. This is just a tidbit for Banana Splits. I'm gonna continue on with it after this. The end credits is the Tra La La song, but it's sung by Patrick from Fall Out Boy. And I like Fall Out Boy, so I can say that, hey, he's a thing. It's like, make it up a mess up, or something like that. It's the typical Fall Out Boy voice that you know. Anybody like Fall Out Boy? Centuries? Immortals? Sugar, We're Going Down? With Thurman? Alright. But it is good. And I especially... when the clown Pennywise, who I really think should be in Multiverses for the record, when he opens his mouth like something like that, it doesn't necessarily scare me. I know it's trying to provoke the fact that it's not really CG. It kind of is, but it's also makeup. So at least they're doing things practical. I can respect that. So there's that. I like it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. That was a bad joke. Can I not make that ever again? No. Okay, so the next movie that I watched was Freddy vs. Jason, the long-awaited crossover between the 2 popular horror icons, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. And it's not a good movie. It is a silly film. It's very much a 2000s, very typical kind of horror film that's like, has these cliche characters and all that stuff. It's like, being resurrected is one thing, but being forgotten, oh, that's a bitch, or something like that. That's what Freddy says in one of the films, and then he dresses up as Jason's mom to go say, hey, the children have been very angry and mad on Elm Street. Go make them learn what fear tastes like. And then they have an epic escapade and then the people start dying by Jason's hand, some by Freddy's hand as well. And as you all know, Freddy invades your dreams and makes you die from your dreams. And only 2 people survive at the end. And I've noticed something with these horror films. They really like screaming teenage girls. And I cannot stand them. 3 movies this month have had screaming teenage girls. Not just deranged in a way. It's kind of annoying. Anybody else notice that cliche in horror movies? It's terrible. It's the worst. Aside from the fact that, you're not supposed to split up, or, hey, the black guy's supposed to die first. Well, whatever. Freddy vs. Jason was pretty bad. Though I will admit, the part where Freddy and Jason do fight is pretty interesting. It's very interesting. It's like, these are my kids, not yours. And then, I know Jason doesn't talk, he's probably like, is this guy freaking retarded? I'm just kidding. Simply put, Freddy vs. Jason, not good. I will admit, Freddy and Jason fighting was pretty cool, but it's just not a good movie to me. And the next film that I watched was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, based on the hit novel series, of which I have not read, but I'm pretty sure it's loved by a few people. Some people remember Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, like the book series. And I don't think the movie's that good. I don't think it's that great. It's like the same, well, it has a creative concept behind it where, like, there's a invisible ghost person writing stories to kill people. That's cool. That's cool stuff. But they kind of, like, ended on a cliffhanger where it's like this sequel bait, and it's like, no. No, there's no way this is getting a sequel. Guillermo del Toro, is that how you say his name? Mr. del Toro, you ain't getting money this time, buddy. Sorry. You had good other works, but this one just isn't it. And he didn't even direct this one. Admittedly, it's the scariest movie I watched this month. And yes, that's crazy to say when I watched Freddy and Jason and Pennywise in the same month. Oh boy. Well, and the plot basically is that there's these 4 kids, who, it's obviously set in the 80s, like It, and they keep getting haunted by this lady who has they have this magic book that keeps writing the stories, and some of them die, some of them don't, some of them get saved, some of them don't. 2 people are gone, one person survives, and 2 of the others are still alive in the end. I just don't like this movie. I just don't like it. It's just not good. It's just, I'm sure the movie has a fan base, and I think it does, actually. It could have a fan base. It's an acquired taste of film. It really is. But guess what else came out in 2019? The Banana Splits movie. And I thought that was a better movie. So yeah, Scary Stories, not the greatest, but not the worst one. The worst one's still Freddy vs. Jason. Ha! And the last film I watched, which I just wrapped up last night at the time of this recording, is Escape Room. And it's bad. I don't like Escape Room. Big surprise. 4 bad movies this month, and only 2 good. Wow. I am so broke. But the plot of Escape Room is that it's an escape room. You guys know those escape rooms? You ever been to one? Have you ever been to escape rooms? Where it's like, you have to find clues, and if you don't find clues in time, it's like, oh, sorry, you didn't make it, and then they escort you out. But if you do make it, you get, like, I don't know, a prize. I've never been to an escape room. I've been wanting to try one. Maybe. They could, I mean, it's a cool concept for a film. It really is. It really is a fun concept. The movie, however, is not good. It has all the things that I had mentioned. A screaming teenage girl, people dying one after another, 2 people surviving at the end, much like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Ugh. Like, God. This is... Ugh. I mean, it's a very boring movie. It really doesn't catch your attention, in all honesty. I mean, the rooms are creative. One of them is like an oven that just keeps getting hotter and hotter. One of them is a fridge, and one of them is squishing somebody in until they die. And then another is like a hallucination room, and the other is a hospital room. Well, you want to go to an escape room with all that stuff that could kill you? And eventually, at the end, they do get sued, and the 2 are just like, we need to track this guy down. And there is a sequel. There's a sequel. Tournament of Champions, I think it's called. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But, yeah, they're just cliffhangering it for a sequel, which is fair. At least it got a sequel, and Scary Stories didn't. At least we get to know what happens after Escape Room, the first one. And it was released last year. Yeesh. But, yeah, I didn't like Escape Room. I thought the characters were boring. I mean, the concept is good. You nail down the concept. The execution is just terrible. So yeah, those are all the films that I watched this month. If you really like this, I'd really consider doing more of this Moviegoing Chronicles stuff. It's really, really fun. I just gotta pick better movies to talk about. But yeah, Morbius is a comic book film that doesn't really act like a comic book film. The Banana Splits movie is a great concept and a very weird execution, but it was still okay at the end. It is a not really a classic, but necessarily a very popular one. It was very popular back in 2017. A lot of memes were hit, a lot of images. Freddy vs. Jason is a very boring crossover that only gets good when Freddy and Jason actually start fighting. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a very weird book type of movie that does have a book in it. So there's that. At least it's faithful to the books. That's good. It's not a good movie. And Escape Room is a very, 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 very boring type of movie. Good concept. Nailed down the concept, just like Banana Splits. But still, not a good movie. So that's 6 movies that I talked about today. So yeah, if you want to see more, I'd be glad to do that. I'd be glad to do more of these. Just gotta pick some more movies to talk about. So yeah. And see you guys soon for maybe a top 10. Ooh, a top 10? That's fun. A lot of hot takes are gonna be in that one. So yeah. And I mean, seriously, a lot of hot takes are gonna be in the next top 10. You'll see what I mean. Sayonara, peeps. Take care. Hope you like the new setup.